Hello everyone. This is a video showing how you can set up custom reports in Google Analytics for your Pubble Live events. The video assumes that you've gone through the documentation available to set up your Google Tag Manager. We push some data to the Google Tag Manager data layer, and the type of information we push are things like App ID, which is a unique identifier for your live event, and I'll explain a little bit more about that when we get to it in the video. Cookie ID for the user, conversation ID, which is a unique ID for the Q&A thread on the event, and various type of events then as the event is happening itself. Things like app load. This is quite a nice one because it roughly correlates to the amount of people on your event. So every time a person goes to your event, the app will load. So this dimension is roughly equal to the number of people that you have on your page. Things like question submit, so if you want to count the number of questions on the event, and other things that you can read there, like if a person likes a post or if they view a reply. So you can get quite powerful data just from this information. So again, it assumes that you've gone through setting up your tags and triggers and variables like the documentation explains. And once you have your tags set up in Google Tag Manager, it will look a little bit like this. You'll have your custom dimensions set. I've used 4, 5, and 6 here. So app ID to 4, conversation ID to 5, and cookie ID to index 6. You'll use whatever you want on your side. It doesn't have to be the exact same. You just need to make sure then when you get to Google Analytics that you set up you add your custom dimension. So again, here I have my app ID to 4, conversation ID to 5, and cookie ID to 6. Okay, so that essentially sets up the link then between Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. So let's show how you set up some reports. So let's go to the report section. So under customization and customer reports in Google Analytics. And this assumes that you know a little bit about setting up reports, but you don't have to. There are some very good explainer videos on YouTube if you want to have a quick look at them, or you can just set up a report exactly like I show here. I've got one done already here, which is all Pubble Live events. And that shows all of the events that happen on each of the Pubble Live events. It all comes into this particular report. So to give you a look at that report, we can edit it here just to have a look at it. So just to explain here, there are 2 different kind of views on the report, but it's the same information. It's just how we view them. There's a flat table view, which is a nice kind of holistic view of what's happening on an event, or an explorer view, and that's more of a drill down. So you can drill down through the dimensions. So you can click on an app ID, and then you can click on an event action to see how many there were. I'll show you both here. So what we're showing here actually first is all of the app IDs. So just to explain a little bit about the app ID, over on Pubble in your admin center, when you create an app, okay, you'll get some deploy code that goes on your page. So this is the page that goes onto or the code that goes onto your event page itself, and that loads the app. And each one of these apps then will have its own unique identifier. So in this case, I'm simulating a university open day, and the unique identifier for this is 69311. So I'll be using that app to extract information about that particular app ID. So 69311. Okay, so let's show that here now on Google Analytics. So if I look at this particular view for all of my apps and all of the events, I can just see it here. So this is a flat table view of all of the events. So let's say I know that event is happening today. I would set my event to today. So I'm going to say that event was happening today. So I'm looking at this particular view. So you can see here, there's actually more than the 10 shown. There's actually 20 here. So I can increase the page depth there to show all of the events happening today and all of the event actions. Now, again, on this particular view, maybe I'm only interested in this 69311. So I can go to advanced here and add a filter and say, I just want to look at 69311 and apply that. And here you can see that it comes up with just the number of questions submitted for that event, which was 18, and the app loads, which correlates to the number of people on the event, which was 4 people. Looking at it in the other view, I just click on Explorer, and here you can see that it's showing me now all of the apps again, and there's more rows at 13, but I don't need to show those. But this time, to get in here, I can click, this is a clickable link, I can click in here, and then this shows me then, okay, the number of questions again was 18, and the number of people was 4. So it's just the same view of the, or a different view of the same information. Okay, so let's say we want to set up our own custom report then for this particular event on this particular day. So what I can do is I can copy this event and then customize it. So I'm going to copy this event, and I'm going to say University Open Day, UOD for short, February 18th, 2021. And maybe in this, I want to look at the number of visitors by country. So I'm going to say visitors by country to give it a good description. So first I'll go into my flat table view here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter out the event that I want first. So I'm going to add my app ID. Now, be careful here, it's not the app ID, this one from Google Analytics, it's the custom dimension that we've set. So I'm going to filter out the app ID and make sure it's equal to 69311. Now, what do I want on that app ID? I want the number of people. So I need to add another filter here. So I'm going to add only the event action that equals app load. So I'm only interested in counting the number of uploads, i.e. the number of people on the event. So that's the number of visitors. And now what I want to do here, I don't have to have app ID here now because I'm already filtering out the app ID. So I can just change this to the dimensions that I want. So I can change that to country. I can change this to maybe I want to look at the browser. And here, maybe I want to look at the device category if I'm interested in that. Okay, so that's my flat table view. Over on Explorer, I'd make sure here again, so the filters remain the same, but I would change this again just to correlate. I would change that to country, change that to browser, and add my device category. So is that there? So again, this is just the same information in different views. So if I save this, I can now see that on my event that there was 4 people, in this case, one from China, one from Ireland, one from Romania, one from Taiwan. I can see the browser that they used and where they came in on desktop here. So I can see one person accessed it from Safari from Romania. So already I'm building up some quite powerful reporting based on the custom dimensions I've set up. If I want to see a different view of that, I can go to the Explorer view. And here, now to get into the browser and the device type, I have to click in. So I'm drilling down. So let's say I want to see the people in China. Obviously, there's only one in this case, but I want to see, okay, one person came in on Chrome. And what device type? Okay, one on desktop. But if there was more people, you might see, you know, the mobile or tablet or whatever in this particular view. So that's the report there, visitors by country. But what if I want a similar report, but I want to view the number of questions submitted? Well, I can do that quite quickly as well. So all I have to do is copy this particular report. And maybe here I just say questions. Okay, so all I have to do then on each of these reports, instead of the event action being upload, I just change it to question submit. So again, that's coming back to what I've already set up with my my events here, the question submit one. So I change that to question submit on the Explorer view and also on the flat table view. And because it's a filter, it automatically changes it here. I don't have to do it, but it's good just to check that they're the same. Okay, so now if I save that, so you can see now my flat table view is telling me, okay, there was actually 6 questions came from Ireland, 5 from China, 4 from Taiwan, and 3 from Romania. My Explorer view is showing the same. And it's showing the total number of events. There was 18 questions asked and a breakdown of where the questions were asked. So very powerful information, and you can build up your own reports in a similar way. So that's it. Have a play around with it, and if you have any questions on it, please let us know. Thank you.